Thank you all for joining us for this very special presentation. My name is Brent Doom, and I'm joined by Vance Drakeford. We are both quality improvement advisors here at the Kentucky Regional Extension Center, and we're bringing you a presentation on QPP Year 4, Reporting Relief Overview due to COVID-19. As always, we want to be sure to include our legal disclosure, just stating simply that today's presentation is for general information purposes only. And while we endeavor to keep the information up to date and correct, we do acknowledge that things change day to day. And so we have made this presentation as up to date as we can, but we do not make any representations or warranties in respect to the content within it. So with COVID-19, CMS wants to grant relief to clinicians, groups, and virtual groups. So they're allowing those clinicians, those groups, and those virtual groups to be able to submit an application requesting reweighting of one or more of the MIPS categories. So they're doing this by way of the extreme and uncontrollable circumstances hardship. Now, walking you through that process, your first question is probably, can I apply, or what kind of parameters are those established by? So the first parameter is going to be taking a look at your ability to collect or be able to submit information based on the impact of COVID-19. If you're unable to do that, then I would highly recommend looking into submitting this application. On the other hand, if COVID-19 directly impacted any of your normal processes that would have affected your performance on cost measures and other claims measures, then this is also probably something that you're going to want to look into. Now, in applying, the first step is going to be having a HARP account. And so if you've been into the quality payment program and kind of know the reins at this point, this is going to be a little old hat, but HARP is simply that system that they utilize to house the login and password, those username and passwords for the QPP portal. So it's kind of your source of truth. The second step is going to be logging into that QPP portal. So logging in, you're going to then jump and select the exception application there on the left-hand side of your screen, and then follow through by selecting the extreme and uncontrollable circumstances. Once you have been approved, or if you are approved there on the back end, you will be notified by email, or you can check your status in the QPP portal. Once that approval status has been established, early in 2021, we're expecting to be able to see those approval statuses in the QPP participation status tool. So the tool that you utilize to look up your provider NPIs to see what they have to submit. And then finally, those next steps. So if you're approved, then no reporting is necessary for those reweighted categories or just that singular category, however that situation may look and feel for each of you. And then if data is submitted after the approval, you will be subject to a final score. So throughout this entire process, make sure that you're saving your documentation, whether you're approved or not approved, the data that you submit on the back end. If you are approved and continue to submit data, just make sure that you're documenting that information. I'm now going to be turning it over to Vance Drakeford as he will walk us through our last few slides.
Thank you, Brent. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Our next slide here, we're talking about some proposed rules that CMS has released in that proposed rulemaking earlier this summer, late this summer. So couple things. One, they are proposing to have a double complex patient bonus that's going to be worth up to 10 points. And then also allowing APM groups to actually submit for this extreme and uncontrollable circumstances exception applications. So we don't have final approval on either one of these yet. They should be released with that final rule in December. We just wanted to let you all know. Now, with this COVID-19 reporting relief with these hardships, we've had several questions and we wanted to kind of discuss the most popular questions. And the first one here is, I've already submitted some quality claims for 2020. Can I apply? So, you know, regular day-to-day submission of quality claims happens. So if you've done that and you still want to apply, yes, you can. And if you're approved for all categories, then you're going to receive a neutral payment adjustment as long as you do not submit data for any other categories. So just keep that in mind. Now, looking at it from the viewpoint of, if you are approved, can I still submit data? Well, why would you want to do that? Well, one thing is, maybe you are considering submitting an application for this hardship, and then you do that, and you're approved, and then you realize by the end of the year, oh my gosh, we're a higher performer. We really don't need this. We should apply, so we have a really great chance at getting that positive payment adjustment. So if you are very secure and confident in the data and in your performance, then you can go ahead and submit data even though you've been approved for this hardship. But just remember that that reweighting is all going to be approved by CMS on a category by category basis, and you're going to be scored on that data that you've submitted. So on those proposed changes that I talked about previously with those 2 changes, we anticipate those to be finalized in the final rule for year 5 in the early part of December. So be looking out for that. If you want to find out more information, more details on COVID-19 resources from CMS, please visit that qppcms.gov site and you will find out more details there. Or you can also visit our own Kentucky REC website on our COVID-19 section that will give you some up-to-date information on COVID-19 resources as well. So guys, thank you all so much for joining us today. Brent and I appreciate it, especially everybody here at the REC as well. If you need to contact us, please reach out at our phone number listed there, at our website, or our email. Any one of those options, we're glad to help. Thanks again for joining us.